This is Khushi before switching to Precision One contact lenses. This is Khushi after switching to Precision One contact lenses. After. And after. With 80% water on the surface, Precision One contact lenses stay comfortable even at 16 hours of wear. Switch to Precision One for 16 hours of comfort.
Game over.
Guys, forget 3D. Let's try the new 4D.
It's kinda crazy, it's kinda crunchy, it's kinda creamy, kinda very punchy, creamy, creamy, crunchy. Taste the 4D, taste the 4D, taste the 4D.
Introducing the all-new 4-layered Korean ice cream latte crunch bar. Taste the 4D.
Sir?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to this press briefing by Foreign Secretary Shri Vikram Mishri on the ongoing developments around Operation Sindoor. We are also joined by Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh for this briefing. With that, sir, the floor is over to you.
Thank you. Indeed, good morning. Namaskar. Sorry to keep you all waiting. जैसा कि हम पिछले 2-3 प्रेस ब्रीफिंग्स में भी बता चुके हैं, ये पाकिस्तानी गतिविधियां हैं पिछले 2-3 दिन से, जो एक एस्केलेटरी तौर पे देखी जा रही हैं और प्रोवोकेटिव तौर पे देखी जा रही हैं. I've said on numerous earlier occasions, it is Pakistani actions that have constituted provocation and escalation. In response, and I repeat, in response, India has defended and reacted in a responsible and measured fashion to these provocations and these escalations by the Pakistani side. Earlier this morning, we saw a repeat of this escalatory and provocative pattern, and I'll invite Colonel Sophia Qureshi and Wing Commander Vyomika Singh to update you on the developments since early this morning. Colonel Qureshi.
Thank you, sir. नमस्कार. पाकिस्तान सेना ने पूरी पश्चिम मोर्चे पर लगातार आक्रामक गतिविधियां जारी रखी. उसमें यूकैव ड्रोन, लॉन्ग रेंज वेपन्स, लॉइटरिंग म्यूनिशंस और लड़ाकू विमानों का उपयोग कर भारतीय सैन्य ढांचे को निशाना बनाया. नियंत्रण रेखा पर भी ड्रोन घुसपैठ और भारी कैलिबर हथियारों से गोलाबारी की. अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा और एलओसी पर श्रीनगर से नलिया तक 26 से अधिक स्थानों पर हवाई घुसपैठ के प्रयास किए गए. भारतीय सशस्त्र बलों ने अधिकांश खतरों को सफलतापूर्वक निष्क्रिय किया. फिर भी वायु सेना स्टेशनों पर उधमपुर, पठानकोट, आदमपुर और भुज बठिंडा स्टेशन, इन सब पर उपकरण व पर्सनल्स को हानि पहुंचाई. मैं ये भी बताना चाहती हूं कि पाकिस्तान ने हाई स्पीड मिसाइल सुबह 1:40 पर इस्तेमाल करके पंजाब के एयरबेस स्टेशन को दागने की कोशिश की. एक निंदनीय और अनप्रोफेशनल एक्ट के तहत पाकिस्तान ने श्रीनगर, अवंतीपुर और उधमपुर के वायु सेना अड्डों पर चिकित्सा केंद्र और स्कूल परिसर को निशाना भी बनाया, जिससे उसके द्वारा सिविल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर हमला करने की गैर जिम्मेदाराना प्रवृत्ति फिर उजागर हुई. पाकिस्तान द्वारा सैन्य ठिकानों को जानबूझकर निशाना बनाने के पश्चात भारतीय सशस्त्र बलों ने त्वरित व सुनियोजित जवाबी हमले किए. टेक्निकल इंस्टॉलेशन, कमांड एंड कंट्रोल सेंटर्स, रडार साइट्स और हथियार भंडार को चुनकर निशाना बनाया गया. रफीकी, मुरीद, चकलाला, रहमियार खान, सुकूर और चुनिया स्थित पाक सैन्य ठिकानों पर एयर लॉन्च सटीक हथियारों व लड़ाकू जेट से प्रहार किए गए. पसरूर स्थित रडार साइट और सियालकोट का एविएशन बेस भी प्रिसीजन एम्यूनिशन से टारगेट किए गए. इन कार्रवाइयों के दौरान भारत ने कम से कम कोलैटरल डैमेज की क्षति सुनिश्चित की. चिंता का विषय यह रहा कि पाकिस्तान ने लाहौर से उड़ान भरने वाले नागरिक विमानों की आड़ लेकर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई मार्गों का दुरुपयोग किया ताकि वह अपनी गतिविधियां छिपा सके. ऐसी चालों ने भारतीय वायु प्रतिरक्षा तंत्र को नागरिक सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित करते हुए अत्यधिक संयम के साथ कार्य करने के लिए विवश किया. साथ ही साथ पाकिस्तान ने मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन का सहारा लेते हुए आदमपुर स्थित S-400 प्रणाली, सूरतगढ़ व सिरसा के हवाई अड्डों, नगरोटा के ब्रह्मोस बेस, देहरागिरी के तोपखाना पोजीशन तथा चंडीगढ़ के अग्रिम गोला बारूद डिपो को नष्ट करने के झूठे दावे सोशल मीडिया पर फैलाए. भारत इन फॉल्स नैरेटिव्स को पूर्णतः खारिज करता है. नियंत्रण रेखा पर पाकिस्तान ने ड्रोन घुसपैठ और भारी तोपखाना गोलाबारी के कई प्रयास किए. कुपवाड़ा, बारामूला, पुंछ, राजौरी और अखनूर सेक्टर्स में तोप, मोर्टार एवं हल्के हथियारों से भीषण गोलाबारी जारी रही। भारतीय सेना ने प्रभावी व तुलनात्मक प्रत्युत्तर देते हुए पाक सेना को काफी क्षति पहुंचाई। पाकिस्तान सेना के अग्रिम क्षेत्रों में सैनिकों की डिप्लॉयमेंट बढ़ती दिख रही है, जो स्थिति को और भड़काने की मंशा दर्शाती है। भारतीय सशस्त्र बल पूर्ण परिचालन तत्परता की स्थिति में है। अभी तक सभी शत्रुतापूर्ण कार्रवाइयों का प्रभावी ढंग से सामना कर उपयुक्त जवाब दिया गया है। भारतीय सशस्त्र बल दोहराते हैं कि वे तनाव वृद्धि नहीं चाहते, बशर्ते पाकिस्तान भी ऐसा ही व्यवहार करे। आखिर मैं आपको कुछ वीडियो दिखाना चाहती हूँ जहां पर इंडियन आर्मी के वेपन्स एलओसी पर पाक के एसेट्स को ध्वस्त करते नजर आ रहे हैं। स्क्रीन में आप देख सकते हैं इस वीडियो को। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Pakistan military continued with its provocations, carrying out aggressive actions employing multiple threat vectors all along the western border. Pakistan employed UCAV, drones, long-range weapons, loitering munitions and fighter aircraft to target civilian areas and military infrastructure. Pakistan military also resorted to air intrusions using drones and firing of heavy caliber weapons along the line of control. Along the international border and the line of control, air intrusion and several harassment attacks were also attempted from Srinagar till Nalia at more than 26 locations. Indian Armed Forces successfully neutralized these threats and majority of the vectors. However, limited damage was sustained to equipment and personnel at Indian Air Force stations at Udhampur, Pathankot, Adampur and Bhuj. There were also several high-speed missile attacks noticed subsequently after 0140 hours in the night at several air bases in Punjab. In a deplorable cowardly act, targeting of civilian infrastructure also had taken place, where Pakistan attacked the Medicare Center and school premises at the airbases of Srinagar, Avantipur and Udhampur, yet again displaying irresponsible targeting of our civilian infrastructure. In a swift and calibrated response, Indian Armed Forces carried out precision attacks only on identified military targets. These included technical infrastructure, command and control centers, radar sites and weapon storage areas. Pakistan military targets at Rafiqi, Murid, Chaklala, Rahim Yar Khan, Sukur and Chunya were engaged using air-launched precision weapons from our fighter aircraft. Radar sites at Pasroor and Sialkot Aviation Base were also targeted using precision munitions. While carrying out these responses, India ensured minimum collateral damage. Pakistan has also attempted to execute a continued malicious misinformation campaign with claims of destruction of Indian S-400 system at Adampur, destruction of airfields at Suratgarh and Sirsa, BrahMos base at Nagrota, RT gun positions at Derangyari and Chandigarh forward ammunition depot, with heavy damages to other military stations being propagated on social media. India unequivocally rejects these false narratives being spread by Pakistan. Along the line of control also, Pakistan has attempted multiple air intrusions using drones and conducted shelling using heavy caliber RT guns, targeting civilian infrastructure and killing some civilians. Heavy exchange of artillery mortars and small arms fire in Kupwara, Baramulla, Poonch, Rajouri and Aknoor sectors continued. Indian Army has responded effectively and proportionately, causing extensive damage to Pakistan Army. Pak military has been observed to be moving their troops into forward areas, indicating offensive intent to further escalate the situation. Indian armed forces remain in a high state of operational readiness. All hostile actions have been effectively countered and responded appropriately. Indian armed forces reiterate their commitment to non-escalation, provided it is reciprocated by the Pakistan military. At the end, I would also like to show you a few images of Air Force bases in the Punjab sector and Rajasthan sector, where it is mighty clear that we are debunking the Pakistani claims of causing destruction at these air bases. You can yourself see the normalcy and these air force stations. This is Sirsa, Suratgarh. The runways are intact. They are also time stamped. Just notice they are also time stamped. This is today. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Colonel Qureshi. Thank you, Wing Commander Singh. I just have a few points to make in closing. First of all, as you have seen, Pakistani claims about activities that they have undertaken continue to be heavy on lies, misinformation and propaganda. And on top of that, this is peddled by Pakistani state agencies. The claims that they have made about attacking and destroying various places, various military installations and facilities, as has been pointed out by my colleagues here this morning, are completely false. The claim about the Air Force station in Sirsa being destroyed, completely false, as you've seen. The claim about the Air Force station in Suratgarh being destroyed, completely false again, as you have seen. There's a claim that has been made that the S-400 base at Adampur was destroyed, completely false once again. Claims have been made about large sections of Indian critical infrastructure, power systems, cyber systems, etc. being attacked and destroyed, completely false. I would urge all of you and all those who watch this not to be misled by this tissue of lies that is being peddled by the Pakistani state for obvious purposes. The second point that I wanted to emphasize is that Pakistan continues with its execrable and wanton campaign of targeting civilians and civilian infrastructure, especially in the states of Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. There is also on its part a consistent attempt to sow discord between communities in India. Targeting of civilian infrastructure and the population in Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. Earlier this morning, Pakistan shelled the town of Rajouri, killing the additional District Development Commissioner Shri Rajkumar Thappa, adding to the civilian casualties and the damage in that state. We have also observed overnight damage to property and injuries to civilians in Firozpur and Jalandhar, among other places. Finally, as I said, Pakistani officials also continue to make ludicrous claims about India firing missiles towards Sri Amritsar Sahib. As I said, these lame attempts to divide India are doomed to failure. We have also seen in some of the remarks that have been shown on television that the Pakistani army spokesman seems to take great joy at the fact that the Indian public should criticize the government of India with regard to various issues. It may be a surprise to Pakistan to see citizens criticizing their own government. That is the hallmark of an open and functioning democracy. Pakistan's unfamiliarity with that, again, should not be surprising. And finally, there is this yet again completely ludicrous claim that Indian missiles have hit Afghanistan. Totally frivolous allegation, and I only want to point out that Afghan people don't need to be reminded about which country it is that has on multiple occasions in just the last 1.5 years targeted civilian populations and civilian infrastructure in Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, as you would have gathered from this morning's briefing, we are dealing with an evolving situation. Accordingly, today we don't have the time to take questions, but we will continue to update you on this situation as we go along. Thank you all very much for joining us this morning.
Don't take your foreign education loan directly.
Viewers, good morning. I'm Abhishek Singh. You're watching the Hindustan Times. We're coming to you immediately after the press conference, which was held just minutes ago at South Block. And in the press conference, Colonel Qureshi, along with Wing Commander Singh, talked about the lunacy which was at full display last night from Pakistan. The India-Pakistan conflict clearly seems to be turning a corner. In attacks which Pakistan mounted at India last night, multiple airbases, a hospital, and civilian population in Punjab and J&K were targeted. India responded, gave a good thumping to the Noor Khan airbase in Rawalpindi, Islamabad, Sheikhpura, Chaklala, and several other airbases. To talk about last night, what happened and what Pakistan is trying to do, I am joined by my senior colleague, Shishir Gupta, Executive Editor, Hindustan Times. Good morning, sir. For you, what stood out as far as the press conference is concerned? There were multiple things. We will discuss them one after another. But what do you think at this point in time, India is paying the most amount of attention to?
What I see right now after the press conference is that the mood on Raisanai Hill is actually quite angry. And because prior to the press conference, the National Security Advisor met the 3 service chiefs and the CDS in South Block. Yesterday evening, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met the 3 service chiefs, National Security Advisor, Rajnath Singh Ji, Defense Minister, as well as the 2 intelligence chief, Tapan Deka and Ravi Sinha. Now, over the night, what has happened in the intervening night is that Pakistan has definitely escalated the situation. It is actually going towards some sort of a full spectrum, vertical and horizontal escalation. Now, this is something which is worrying, given that Pakistan is right now appearing to be quite unhinged. So the point is that you see 26 locations were attacked. The Indian air bases were attacked. The Pakistanis used the fighter aircraft. They used missiles. They used kamikaze drones, which were actually procured from Turkey in large numbers. And this has gone on through the night. Now, the Indian retaliation has been very pinpointed and very specific, using air-launched weapons, which essentially would mean air-launched scalp missiles, air-launched loitering ammunition, air-launched air-to-ground missiles. Now, all the air bases that have been attacked, like if you look at it, you're talking about Airbase Murid. Now, this Airbase Murid is the place from where the unmanned combat air systems as well as drones were launched. You look at key air bases like Rafiki. Rafiki is the place from where JF-17s are launched. You see the key bases which are Masroor, Sukur. These are bases on which Pakistan fighters are stationed. Now, Rahmiyar Khan is a forwardly deployed base, and the images that we have received are showing a huge crater on the runway of the air base. Now, essentially what India has done is it has hit at the military infrastructure of Pakistan Air Force so that it cannot attack. But as per the briefing, Pakistan is already showing that it is moving troops towards forwardly deployed locations. Now, that is a matter of serious concern because what Pakistan is doing is preparing for possibly a full spectrum war.
And Pakistan is calling this operation Bunyan ul Marsus. We have tried to get for our viewers a translation, the literal translation, and this is as per Al Jazeera. For these two words, Bunyan stands for something which is solid, and Marsus. So basically, it is a Quranic reference, and I'm quoting Al Jazeera on this, that Bunyan Marsus is an Arabic phrase which directly translates into a structure made of lead. And Al Jazeera has also quoted the verse from Quran, which reads something like this, and I'm quoting again. Truly, Allah loves those who fight in His cause in battle array as if they were a solid cemented structure. Bunyan al-Marsus, the solid cemented structure here. Do you think, sir, Pakistan is trying to give it a religious hue? In fact, I think that question is something which I should try and rephrase. Pakistan has definitely been trying to ensure that this conflict between India and Pakistan, seems increasingly religious in its nature. Why do you think Pakistan is trying to do this?
Pakistan always tries to galvanize its people, using the context of political Islam. They have been doing this time and again, so I'm not surprised. And I don't see so if anybody should be surprised after what General Asim Munir spoke on April 16th. He clearly declared it as jihad. And that is what he has done. That is what General Ziaul Haq had done. That's what General Yahya Khan had done. And that is what Benazir Bhutto, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. So each and every Pakistan ruler to survive uses political Islam. So I'm not surprised by whatever they have called that and whatever is the justification, whatever it is.
Khwaja Asif the other day was addressing, some people. I think this was in the assembly, Pakistan Assembly, where he said that, students of Madrasa, which is, of course, the Islamic religious school, are the second line of defense as far as Pakistan is concerned.
You see, these are political rhetorics. They can say what they want to say. Fact of the matter is, everything depends on what is going to happen on ground and in the skies. Pakistan can talk as much as it wants, but the point is here what you require is delivery on ground. Pakistan in the past 2 days is trying to instigate India desperately to push it towards a full-fledged conflagration. India, the sane power, the committed power, a power which is responsible, is trying to only hit at first the terrorist targets, the terror infrastructure camps, and now the military installations, and is ensuring that there is no collateral damage. Pakistan, on the other hand, is actually quite brazen in its attack, because yesterday what happens is, last night they used heavy caliber artillery to target Jammu region, and the RT shells were nearly hitting outside Jammu. So they were using long-range RT shells to do that. Then was followed by the drone attacks, kamikaze drones, and then that was followed by fighter planes being used. Now, there are reports that the planes were engaged. There are reports that the fighter planes were actually taken a shot at by the Indian Air Force. I do not know what has come out of it, but the fact remains is that all the missile attacks, all the drone attacks, barring these 3 injuries in Punjab and some 4 casualties in the in Jammu Rajouri Poonch sector, India was able to fend off all this. But, a missile only needs, if one miss and the missile hits you. So the point is, India has to take a definitive counter action to ensure that Pakistan does not get away with what it is happening. Now, the other thing is that this morning, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, now this is very important, Marco Rubio spoke to General Asim Munir. He told him, as per the release of the State Department, to de-escalate. Now, if there is anybody that the Pakistanis will listen to and have listened to in the past, it is the Americans. So we have to watch out as to what happens the next step, what is the next step that is taken. But the mood in Delhi is quite grim. It's it's very angry, and the political leadership has given an operational free hand to the armed forces to do what is right to do and defend India.
Right. Both yesterday and today, the thing which was mentioned in the press conference was that Pakistan's civilian airspace was open. This was open yesterday when Pakistan launched multiple drones, as many as 400 as per some reports, in the direction of Jammu. And then, of course, last night's attack, the Pakistani civilian airspace was open. Generally, countries try to make sure that they protect their civilian population as much as they can. In this case, it seems Pakistan is clearly trying to lure India into perhaps making a mistake, because of course, as soon as you launch missiles and drones at India, India is likely to react. And in that fog of war, Pakistan perhaps is hoping that India ends up targeting a civilian aircraft, which turns the entire, galvanizes some support for it for Pakistan. What would you like to say about this aspect, sir? Because this has been mentioned in the press conference twice now, and this is something which is never done by any country, the irresponsible state that Pakistan is.
See, what do you expect out of a rogue state? What do you expect out of a terrorist state? What do you expect out of a state which is actually still talking in terms of Islamic jihad? So this is Sam Dam Dandubhed. Pakistan will do anything, everything, lie, information warfare, anything, beg, borrow, steal, whatever it is, to try and sort of somehow try to win the current situation. But that is not possible because India is quite prepared for it. We have been prepared for it. There was this high velocity missile that was headed towards the Sirsa airbase. Pakistan has been trying to hit at Indian air bases.
Was it Fateh too, sir?
I'm not too sure. You see, the point is that, saying that whether it is Fateh 2 or whether it is any conventional ballistic missile, I have no idea, because the point is that, there has to be forensic analysis as to what the weapon is.
Right.
I mean, this is not a TB debate, really.
Yeah.
And the point is that Pakistan has definitely used biker Turkish drones. These are kamikaze drones, which were seen. Evidence was available in Punjab. And they have bought these drones as well as the previous drone, that is Azizgad Sonkar, in large numbers to basically irritate the Indian side, to sort of, inflict damage on the border areas and try and hit at the air bases. Now, Pakistan has also used missiles. Pakistan has been using air-to-air weapons. And the issue over here is that this country, this rogue state, is led by the Pakistan Army General. Anybody else does not matter. He is trying to create this jingoism on the basis of religious sentiments and everything, as if it was a great war that is going to take place. Now, this man has to back down before anything happens. Now, either he has to be either he backs down or he's crushed by the Indian army.
Right. Talking about begging, borrowing, and stealing, because you made a reference to that, let's quickly talk about IMF and World Bank as well, because IMF just yesterday freed about $1 billion for Pakistan and has approved new $1.4 billion program. What is IMF thinking? Where does IMF think this money is going to go to? Because this was released as part of its climate resilience fund.
See, in this case, India abstained from voting because there is no option of negating a vote. Now, the thing is that I have a slightly different understanding of it. Maybe the Americans told Pakistan that we'll let this thing go, and in return, you de-escalate. Maybe there is some deal in this. It's not so simple as that. And the other thing is, the amount actually is quite piddly, as to speak. It's $1.3 billion, which is loose change for India. So the point is that there could be some deal behind this, and India abstained, and rightfully abstained. India was totally against the loan. That's where it is, and it is for the IMF and the World Bank to decide whether they want to be on the side of a terrorist state or whether they want to be on the side of the world's largest democracy.
Right. And just recently, Ajay Banga, he is, of course, the president of World Bank, was in India. And during a media interview, he was asked about the Indus Waters Treaty because, of course, World Bank has been the facilitator of that treaty between India and Pakistan. So he was asked that what role World Bank is prepared to play as far as the Indus Waters Treaty is concerned. And he very clearly, I mean, he said something which seemed as if, he is trying to, I mean, which he wasn't clearly, but he was definitely making a point which India has been trying to make, and that is that the treaty was signed in, goodwill and with a spirit of, peace between these two countries. But since Pakistan has been violating its terms, not letting India build the infrastructure it wants to, so he said, Ajay Banga said that there are only two options. The treaty cannot be suspended. It can either be put in abeyance or it has to be replaced by a new treaty altogether. In other words, that's what India has been saying from the very get-go.
Let me make it very clear to you. The World Bank role was a facilitator of the Indus Water Treaty way back in 1960. After that, there is no role of World Bank in this. Okay, this is a treaty of good faith between the then Prime Minister and the then Pakistan President. Now, Pakistan has not kept up with the good faith, and that's why India has walked out of the treaty. I see no role of World Bank in this. I mean,
and Ajay Banga said as much. And sorry, sir. Fact. Yes, sir. And sorry, I'm interrupting you, but there is a high red alert which has just come in. This is, and let me read this out. This is for Jodhpur. Everyone has been ordered to immediately to go to their houses. Markets have been shut, and all movement on roads and elsewhere is to be stopped, and the immediate enforcement is to be ensured. This is an alert which has been shared by the district magistrate of Jodhpur. Now, we are live. It's 11:24 a.m. in full daylight. Unlike some of the other attacks of Pakistan, on Saturday, what we have also noticed saw that, there were some attacks which took place early in the morning, and now this alert has come in.
You see, during the press conference, our military leaders over there, they said very clearly that Pakistan is starting to move troops towards forward locations. Now, the only place where, one of the only places where Pakistan really moves its tanks and its armored corps is in the area of Jodhpur, Rajasthan sector. So possibly this could be an alert for things to follow, for maybe some artillery shelling, maybe some fighter bombing, or maybe some drone or loitering ammunition. I do not know the specific facts of the case. This has just started, but this obviously must be very serious, because normally the Rajasthan sector is the place where you have seen tank battles in the past wars, that is 1971 as well as 1965. Right. Now, if this is happening, Pakistan is horizontally as well as vertically escalating the battle. Now, the fact is that it is for Pakistan to realize where it stands vis-a-vis India when it comes to conventional dominance. And one must remember that India has Apache all-weather helicopters, which are armed with Hellfire missiles, and they are called as tank killers with a proven record all over the world.
Yeah. And on the battlefield in Russia and Ukraine, we saw that tanks, unlike the kind of battle machine they used to be, perhaps not as strong, as good, because of course you have loitering ammunition now, you have anti-tank weapons, which are very precise. But aside from that, sir, I want to circle back to the role that US is playing. Do you think US is doing enough? Because JD Vance was recently asked if US is asking India and Pakistan to de-escalate, and he very clearly responded, it's not America's war. And US cannot ask India to back down, especially after what happened in Pahalgam or Pakistan. So from at least one part of the government, the signal which is being sent out is that this is between India and Pakistan, and it is for them to sort it out.
You see, I am not going to question as to what Vice President JD Vance said, because what he actually meant was that it is for India and Pakistan to bilaterally sort out the issue. Right. My understanding of the issue is that. Now, the other thing is that, yes, US is definitely playing an enabling role. US is definitely supporting India. US is definitely helping us in sharing with information about movement, military movements. US is definitely helping us with satellite imagery. And US is clearly with us when it comes to counterterrorism. So the point is, US definitely has a very big role to play, because US knows the ins and out of Pakistan and has been in that country for decades over there.
Right. So there are multiple alerts which have come in now, and this is for Rajasthan. The Barmer district collector, it is one of the border towns. Deena Dhabi has announced a high red alert across the district, and residents have been asked to immediately return to their homes. Markets again have been closed, and all public movement is to cease with immediate effect. That's for Barmer. A similar order has been issued by the Jaisalmer administration, and also for Sri Ganganagar. These are all border towns along that border which Shishir sir was just talking about, where in the past, in 65 and 71, big and massive tank battles were fought because the terrain is such. And this is where these alerts have been issued for. At this point in time, we don't know anything further. We will only share with you what comes to us verified and from official sources. At this point in time, all we know is that red alert has been issued for Sri Ganganagar, Jaisalmer, Barmer, and yes, a lot of this is happening currently in Rajasthan. So as I was briefly saying earlier, and I wanted to ask you that question specifically, so let me put it to you again, and that is that this escalation ladder which Pakistan is climbing, definitely now. The previous attacks came during night. Now, even during days, Pakistan is trying to, whether it's through drones or it is through rockets, Hamas-style rockets, it is trying to, further and further provoke India. India is being arm-twisted into a position where it has to give a thumping response to Pakistan, because sanity, logic, rationality is clearly failing at letting Pakistan know that India does not want escalation. But if you are going to continue with this, we will come at you hard and strong.
See, the current red alerts that have been issued, this is all the Rajasthan sector. This is all the way from Suratgarh, Sri Ganganagar, Yamunanagar. This all goes to Badmer, Uttarlai was attacked, Nalia was attacked yesterday. So the whole area, this is a preparation for some sort of a troop movement. That's from the Pakistan side. But I would strongly invite the attention of Pakistan towards the Battle of Longewala in 1971, where their tank division was crushed by a small platoon of troops. So I don't think so that India is actually looking for a vertical and horizontal escalation, but India definitely is prepared for it. India is not asking for any relief. It is just trying to say that this is insane because it all started with a terror attack at Pahalgam where Hindu tourists were massacred. The first attack was from Pakistan. India is only responding. And let me tell you very clearly, India is in no mood for unilateral de-escalation. If Pakistan wants to play the full game or go the whole hog, India is more than prepared, capable, and has the ability to crush any offensive that is coming from the Pakistani side.
Right. Another update has come in, this time from the US. Apparently, Marco Rubio has spoken to the External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, and Secretary Rubio has emphasized that both sides need to identify methods to de-escalate and reestablish direct communication to avoid miscalculation. Secretary Rubio has also proposed that US could play a supporting role in facilitating productive discussions to avert future disputes.
I think it is for Pakistan to realize the situation which it is in. It is for Pakistan to de-escalate because it started the first escalation. Okay? It started all with General Asim Munir on April 16th. Now, India does not need a third-party intervention in this. India can talk to Pakistan, can open the dialogue with Pakistan, provided Pakistan de-escalates, provided Pakistan shows good faith, something which is not expected out of Islamabad.
Right, right. And very shortly, we will be sharing some visuals of IF bases, which are intact. These visuals were also shared during the press conference by Colonel Qureshi and Wing Commander Singh. And these are authentic, verified images with timestamps confirming that the air bases which Pakistan claims, the air base in Surat and a couple of other air bases, are in fact intact. This is, of course, to to the myths and rumors that Pakistan is trying to propagate. This will, of course, address them. And talking about some of these misinformation that Pakistan has been trying to propagate, one of that was last night, and I was shocked to hear that okay, you're lying, all right, we all know that you are a liar, but this kind of a lie, I mean, it was said that apparently S-400 based in Adhampur has been destroyed. And of course, this was addressed in the press conference as well, sir. So about this misinformation, this information war which is being played between these two countries, between India and Pakistan, your comment on that, sir?
See, information warfare is part and parcel of conflicts between any countries. This is one place, one thing which is used as a force multiplier by whichever side it wants to use. This is a game played to demoralize the other side. Pakistan is trying to play this for a long time. In 1971, it did that. In 1965, it did that. It has been doing for a long time. But the unfortunate part is that Pakistan actually, its lies are now exposed. And so when people know that, that you're actually dealing with a liar, you tend to take everything with a ton of salt. So in this case also, nobody believes in what Pakistan says. And so at the end of the day, you can do information warfare, but what you do on ground is the one which is going to determine the future and the result of the conflict.
Where do we go from here, sir?
Well, the escalation from the Pakistani side, it's pointing towards a next step, and which could be maybe they are looking at a land battle kind of a thing, but then let it unfold first. before we start to sort of, put this great fear with everybody saying that, this is happening, that is happening, let it unfold. It is going up the escalatory ladder, but Pakistan also knows that this is not the way things will work in its favor.
All right. And viewers, in a few seconds from now, I'll be sharing an email which Hindustan Times has received. This email has been received from YouTube, and I'll read it out to you. But as I've been saying, since we started the coverage of from the night of 6th of May, and today it is 10th. And the reason I'm looking at my phone for the date is because we've been covering this ever since, live in multiple bulletins during interviews. And the thing that I've been telling you is that we're only sharing with you whatever is coming to us after being verified by at least two sources. Shishir sir has been part of multiple lives, point blanks that we have done. And that's all that we have tried to do, just like we did in case of, the S400 battery that we were just discussing. And what has happened as a consequence of all of this, that we have received a mail from YouTube, and it says, and I'm reading it to you now, we received a legal complaint from a government entity regarding your content. After review, the following content has been blocked from view on the YouTube country listed below. And we've been blocked in Pakistan. Hindustan Times has been blocked in Pakistan. That's the mail that I have right in front of me. You can read it on your screens. And, all the rumors that we've been bursting. And we did this. We exercised a lot of restraint. Did not, go with a lot of information warfare, which was, happening on Twitter and elsewhere. We stuck to facts. We did not talk about, Karachi port or whatever else, which everybody was talking about. We kept talking about facts. So at times, viewers might have felt that, more sensational news is being shared on other platforms, whereas we are talking about whatever is coming to us confirmed, and we were confirming it again and again with, civilians on ground, whether it was in Jammu or Punjab, with our reporters, with, of course, experts, and only was sharing with you what was coming to us confirmed. And as a consequence of that, it seems Pakistan has decided that they don't want Pakistani citizens to see Hindustan Times anymore. So, your comment?
All I can say is that we've been only talking about things after verifying things not one but multiple times with everybody. We have not been being jingoistic about anything. We are not saying things which are being said all over the social media. We are verifying every fact, everything, and actually trying to understate things rather than sort of create panic or some sort of, trying to sort of make everybody miserable by saying that, there's an incoming war. We have been looking at each and every event. We have been examining the wreckage. We have been not taking names unnecessarily. But if this is what Pakistan wants, this is what Pakistan gets.
And I don't think, this is a loss for the Pakistani civilians as well, because they're not going to get verified, credible information with no hyperbole, no exaggeration, no, as you just said, jingoistic phrases being thrown here and there, just a very transparent, and as I want to, underscore again, information which is verified, information which is credible. And so I think this is also a loss for the people who are watching us in Pakistan, because now they will have to listen to, I suppose, whatever else is out there. And I think that is what Pakistan Army wanted to do, Pakistan DG ISPR wanted to do. But on that note, we will wrap up this coverage. We will, of course, keep coming back to you as and when there are developments, and of course with experts, with civilians on ground, with citizens, and of course ex-military personnel who will help us decode all of this. So thank you so much for taking time and answering all of these questions. And I think this ban that we have just received, we can take it as a bit of a pat on our backs that we've been doing something good, I suppose. Thank you, viewers.
positions at Dehrang Yari and Chandigarh Forward Ammunition Depot, with heavy damages to other military stations being propagated on social media. India unequivocally rejects these false narratives being spread by Pakistan. Along the line of control also,